Ethan Carter's heart raced as he stood before the Trill Council, a gathering of stern-faced aliens whose distrust was evident. "You want me to do what?" he asked, his voice a mixture of surprise and concern. Varon, a tall and imposing Trill male, translated the Council's decree. "To gain our trust, you must engage with our females. Understand, their pheromones are lethal to non-Trill males if exposed for long." Ethan took a deep breath, considering the gravity of his task. He was a seasoned diplomat, accustomed to bridging divides between vastly different species, but this mission was unlike any he had faced. The Trill females were shrouded in mystery, their biological danger making them a forbidden subject of interaction. Upon his arrival on the Trill homeworld, Ethan marveled at the stark beauty of the landscape, a combination of harsh deserts and towering crystalline structures. The air was crisp, almost sterile, and the sky a deep shade of indigo, dotted with unfamiliar constellations. Varon, assigned as his guide, maintained a cold distance, offering little more than essential information. Meeting Lyra. Their first destination was a vast hall where Ethan would meet Lyra, the Trill female chosen for this unprecedented interaction. The hall was dimly lit, the walls adorned with intricate carvings depicting Trill history and mythology. Ethan's senses were heightened. He could almost feel the weight of tradition and expectation pressing down on him. Lyra entered gracefully, her eyes locking onto Ethan's with a mixture of curiosity and caution. She was tall, her skin a delicate shade of blue that seemed to shimmer under the soft lighting. Despite the danger, Ethan felt a deep need to communicate, to understand this enigmatic species. "Greetings, Lyra," Ethan began, his voice steady. "I am here to learn about your people, and I hope to share our culture with you." Lyra responded in her melodic language, her words translated by a small device Ethan carried. "You are brave, human, to seek what others fear, but bravery alone may not be enough." Bridging the gap. Their initial conversations were awkward, filled with pauses and misunderstandings. Ethan spoke of Earth, its diverse cultures and histories, while Lyra shared tales of the Trill's past, their advancements, and the reasons behind their isolation. The specialized suit Ethan wore protected him from the lethal pheromones, but he still felt the tension in the air. As days passed, Ethan and Lyra found common ground through their shared curiosity and respect for each other's traditions. Ethan learned that the Trill's fear of outsiders stemmed from a long-ago war that had nearly wiped out their species. Lyra, in turn, saw in Ethan a genuine desire to bridge the gap between their worlds. Varon, who had been skeptical of Ethan's intentions, began to see the potential for change. He observed the growing understanding between the human and the Trill female, and it challenged his own beliefs. The rigid structures of his society, once unquestionable, now seemed like barriers to progress. The attack. One evening, as Ethan and Lyra discussed their respective worlds, a loud explosion rocked the hall. The attack, orchestrated by a faction within the Trill who opposed the alliance, was sudden and violent. Ethan and Lyra were thrown to the ground, their protective suits the only thing saving them from the deadly pheromones that now filled the air. Ethan scrambled to his feet, helping Lyra up. "We need to get to safety," he urged, his voice urgent but calm. They navigated through the chaos, finding refuge in a secure chamber. Varon, having rushed to their aid, secured the entrance and assessed the situation. "The faction will stop at nothing to prevent this alliance," Varon said, his tone grim, "but we cannot let them succeed." Ethan's mind raced with plans. This attack had revealed the deep divisions within the Trill society, but it also underscored the importance of their mission. As they regrouped, he felt a renewed determination to succeed, not just for the sake of the alliance, but for the future of both their species. The night ended with Ethan and Lyra sharing a moment of quiet reflection. The attack had brought them closer, their shared ordeal forging a bond that transcended their differences. Ethan looked at Lyra, seeing in her eyes a mixture of fear and hope. "We can do this," he said softly, his voice filled with conviction. "Together, We can make this work. Lyra nodded, her resolve matching his own. Yes, Ethan. Together. The growing threat. Ethan Carter awoke to the sound of soft beats from his medical scanner. The events of the previous night played over in his mind. The attack, the escape, and the fragile trust being built. He glanced at Lyra, who was seated nearby, her eyes filled with a mix of concern and resolve. "You should rest," she said, her voice gentle yet firm. "I'm fine," Ethan replied, though the pain in his side told a different story. "We need to figure out our next steps." Veron entered the room, his expression stern. "The faction that attacked us is growing bolder. They see our efforts as a threat to their power." Ethan nodded, understanding the complexity of the situation. The Trill were a society on the brink of change, and his presence had become a catalyst for both hope and fear. He turned to Lyra, whose insights had been invaluable. "We need to rally more support. Can you help me reach out to other Trill who might be sympathetic to our cause?" Rallying support. Lyra's eyes brightened with determination. "There are those who dream of a future beyond our isolation. I can introduce you to a few influential voices." Their plan set, Ethan, Lyra, and Veron ventured out, using a network of underground passages to avoid detection. As they moved, Ethan couldn't help but marvel at the intricate design of the Trill city, with its bioluminescent plants and flowing crystalline structures that seemed to pulse with life. Their first stop was the home of Eldar Rael, an elder known for his progressive views. Rael's residence was a striking blend of traditional and modern elements, symbolizing his balanced outlook. As they approached, Rael greeted them with a wary smile. "I have heard much about you, human. Your bravery and foolishness are equally renowned." Ethan chuckled, appreciating the elder's candor. "I prefer to think of it as calculated risk. Gaining allies." Rael invited them inside, offering a gesture of peace over a meal of exotic fruits and delicacies. Ethan presented his vision of a united future. Rael listened intently, his eyes reflecting years of wisdom and experience. "You speak of a future that many here fear," Rael said thoughtfully. "But fear has kept us stagnant for too long. I will support your cause, but you must prove that this alliance will not lead to our ruin." Lyra spoke up, her voice steady. "Ethan has shown me a different perspective. We need this connection to grow, to evolve." Rael nodded, convinced by the sincerity in Lyra's words. "Very well. I will convene a meeting with other like-minded elders. But beware, the opposition will not sit idly by." As they left Rael's home, Ethan felt a glimmer of optimism. The elders' support was a significant step forward, but the road ahead remained fraught with challenges. Veron, ever pragmatic, reminded them of the dangers. "Rael's backing is valuable, but it also paints a target on our backs. We must stay vigilant." Days turned into weeks as Ethan and his allies worked tirelessly to build a coalition. Each new supporter brought hope but also increased the tension within the Trill society. Meanwhile, the faction against them grew more desperate, their tactics more aggressive. A desperate message. One evening, as Ethan and Lyra were deep in conversation, an urgent message came through from Veron. "Meet me at the old observatory. It's not safe here." The observatory, a relic from a bygone era, was a place of contemplation and knowledge. Ethan and Lyra arrived to find Veron waiting, his expression grave. "There's been another attack. This time they targeted one of our key supporters." The news hit hard. Their enemies were escalating their efforts, and the threat was becoming more personal. Ethan clenched his fists, a mixture of anger and resolve coursing through him. "We need to act. If we wait, more lives will be lost." Lyra placed a hand on his arm, her touch grounding him. "We will not give up. There is too much at stake." In the dim light of the observatory, the three of them devised a plan. They would hold a public forum, inviting both supporters and skeptics to openly discuss the future of their society. It was a risky move, but Ethan believed that transparency and dialogue were the only ways to overcome fear. The night of the forum arrived, and the tension in the air was palpable. The grand hall was filled with Trill of all ages, their faces a mosaic of emotions. Ethan took the stage alongside Lyra and Varen, ready to present their case. As Ethan began to speak, he felt a surge of determination. He outlined their vision for a united future, emphasizing the mutual benefits of an alliance. Lyra spoke next, sharing her personal journey and the lessons she had learned from Ethan. The crowd murmured, some nodding in agreement, others frowning in skepticism. Just as the atmosphere seemed to settle, a loud crash echoed through the hall. The opposing faction had arrived. The tipping point. Confrontation. The grand hall erupted into chaos as members of the opposing faction stormed in. Ethan quickly assessed the situation, recognizing the need to protect the forum's participants. "Stay calm and move to the exits," he shouted, his voice carrying a tone of authority that cut through the panic. Lyra and Varen flanked him, their expressions a mix of determination and urgency. "We must not let fear dominate," Lyra said, her eyes meeting Ethan's. Together, they guided people to safety, their movements coordinated and efficient, rallying the defenders. As the dust settled, Ethan, Lyra, and Varen regrouped with the supporters who had managed to escape. Among them was Eldar Rael, his face a mask of grim resolve. "We cannot let them win through terror," he declared. "We must show that our vision for unity is stronger than their fear." Ethan nodded in agreement. "We need to fortify our defenses and continue to spread our message. The more they attack, the more we must stand firm." Building a network. Over the following days, Ethan and his allies worked tirelessly to strengthen their network. They reached out to influential Trill, sharing their vision and gaining support. Each conversation was a step forward, a brick in the foundation of a new future. Lyra proved invaluable, her understanding of Trill culture and her eloquence swaying many who had been undecided. Varen, ever vigilant, organized security details to protect their key supporters in gatherings. The breakthrough. One evening, as they reviewed their progress, an unexpected visitor arrived at their headquarters. It was a young Trill named Zara, known for her technological prowess. "I want to help," she said, her voice steady. "I have been working on a way to counter the pheromones and make it safer for interactions." Ethan's eyes widened with interest. "Tell us more." Zara explained her invention, a device that could neutralize the lethal effects of Trill pheromones. It was still in the experimental stage, but she believed it had the potential to change everything. Testing the device. The following day, they arranged a demonstration. Ethan volunteered to test the device, his trust in Zara, and the need for a breakthrough overriding his fear. With the device activated, he approached Lyra without the protective suit. The room held its breath as they waited for a reaction. Ethan felt a slight tingling but no pain. Lyra, sensing the change, reached out and touched his hand. The contact was brief but profound, a symbol of the bridge they were building. The success of the device was a turning point. News of the breakthrough spread quickly, reigniting hope among their supporters and weakening the opposition's argument. The United Front, gaining momentum. With Zara's device proving effective, Ethan and his allies gained momentum. More Trill came forward, willing to support their cause and share in the vision of a united future. The device allowed for safer interactions, breaking down barriers that had long kept the Trill isolated. Eldar Rael convened a council of elders, bringing together influential figures from across Trill society. The meeting was a historic moment, a gathering of minds and hearts committed to change. Presenting the plan. Ethan and Lyra presented their plan, detailing the benefits of an alliance with humanity. They spoke of shared knowledge, technological advancements, and the potential for mutual growth. Rael, with his wisdom and experience, endorsed their vision, adding weight to their words. The discussions were intense, with passionate arguments on both sides. Some elders clung to the old ways, fearing the loss of Trill identity. Others saw the necessity for evolution, understanding that isolation could no longer protect them. A vote for the future. After hours of debate, the council called for a vote. The outcome would determine the future of Trill society. Ethan stood beside Lyra, their hands clasped in solidarity as they awaited the decision. One by one, the elders cast their votes. The tension was palpable, the air thick with anticipation. When the final vote was counted, the result was clear. The majority supported the alliance. Celebrating the victory, the announcement was met with a mix of relief and jubilation. Supporters cheered, their faces alight with hope. Ethan and Lyra embraced, their shared journey culminating in this moment of triumph. But amid the celebration, Ethan remained vigilant. "This is just the beginning," he reminded his allies. "We have won the vote, but we must continue to work hard to implement our vision and ensure its success." Moving forward, with the council's endorsement, Ethan and his team set about the work of integrating their societies. They organized cultural exchanges, educational programs, and joint scientific endeavors. The Trill and humans learned from each other, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. Varan, once a skeptic, became one of their staunchest advocates. His transformation symbolized the broader change within Trill society, a shift from fear to acceptance, from isolation to unity. A personal milestone. Ethan and Lyra's relationship deepened, their bond transcending the political and becoming deeply personal. They found solace in each other's company, their shared experiences forging a connection that was both profound and enduring. One evening, as they walked through a tranquil garden, Lyra turned to Ethan. "We have come so far, but there is still much to do." Ethan smiled, his eyes reflecting the determination that had brought them to this point. "Together, we will face whatever comes. Our journey is just beginning." Facing new challenges, unexpected obstacles. Despite their progress, not everyone was pleased with the new alliance. Dissident factions within Trill society continued to resist, their actions growing more desperate and violent. Ethan knew that maintaining unity would require constant vigilance and unwavering commitment. One night, a series of coordinated attacks targeted key infrastructure, threatening to derail their efforts. Ethan, Lyra, and Varan quickly mobilized their supporters, working to mitigate the damage and protect their gains. The hunt for saboteurs. Varan led the investigation, his keen mind and experience crucial in identifying the culprits. The saboteurs were a small but determined group, deeply opposed to any form of integration with humanity. They believed that preserving Trill purity was paramount, even if it meant resorting to violence. Ethan and Lyra coordinated with Trill security forces, using their combined knowledge to track down and apprehend the saboteurs. The process was arduous and fraught with danger, but their determination never wavered. A major setback. Just as they were making headway, a devastating explosion rocked one of their main research facilities. The blast caused significant damage and resulted in the loss of vital equipment and data. It was a severe blow to their efforts, threatening to undo much of their hard work. Ethan felt the weight of the setback, but Lyra's unwavering support helped him remain focused. "We can't let this stop us," she said, her voice filled with resolve. "We will rebuild and come back stronger." Rebuilding and resilience. The community rallied together, their collective spirit of resilience shining through. Donations of resources and volunteer labor poured in from both Trill and human supporters. The rebuilding process became a symbol of their unity and determination. Ethan and Lyra led by example, working tirelessly alongside their allies to restore what had been lost. Their efforts inspired others, reinforcing the bonds that had been forged through shared adversity. Turning the tide. As they rebuilt, Ethan and his team developed new strategies to counter the dissidents. They strengthened security measures, improved communication networks, and fostered greater transparency within their organization. These efforts gradually turned the tide, reducing the influence and reach of the saboteurs. Varan's leadership was instrumental in this process. His strategic thinking and unyielding dedication to their cause helped create a safer and more stable environment. Under his guidance, the opposition's ability to disrupt their progress diminished significantly. A new beginning. With the immediate threat contained, Ethan and Lyra focused on the future. They continued to promote cultural exchange and cooperation, creating a foundation for lasting peace and prosperity. Their work extended beyond political and economic integration, fostering deeper understanding and mutual respect between their peoples. Strengthening bonds, deepening relationships. Ethan and Lyra's personal relationship flourished amidst their professional collaboration. They found moments of peace and joy in each other's company, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. Their love became a beacon of hope, symbolizing the unity they sought to create. Their relationship also faced challenges as they navigated the complexities of their respective roles and the expectations placed upon them. Through open communication and unwavering support, they overcame these obstacles, emerging even more committed to each other and their shared vision. Community engagement. Engaging the broader community was crucial to the success of their efforts. Ethan and Lyra organized public forums, town hall meetings, and cultural events to foster dialogue and collaboration. These initiatives helped build trust and understanding, breaking down barriers and dispelling misconceptions. Zara's technological innovations played a key role in these efforts. Her device continued to evolve, becoming more effective and accessible. It enabled safer interactions and deeper connections between Trill and humans, further bridging the gap between their societies. Educational initiatives. Education became a cornerstone of their integration strategy. Joint schools and universities were established, offering programs that combined the best of both worlds. Students from Trill and human backgrounds learned together, forging friendships and gaining insights into each other's cultures. These educational initiatives also included exchange programs where students and teachers spent time immersed in each other's societies. These experiences fostered empathy and understanding, creating a new generation committed to unity and cooperation. Economic collaboration. Economic collaboration was another vital aspect of their integration efforts. Joint ventures and business partnerships flourished, leveraging the strengths and resources of both societies. These collaborations spurred innovation, driving progress and prosperity. Ethan and Lyra worked closely with business leaders and entrepreneurs, facilitating connections and supporting new ventures. Their efforts created opportunities for growth and development, benefiting both Trill and human communities. Celebrating milestones. As their integration efforts progressed, they celebrated key milestones with the community. Festivals, ceremonies, and public gatherings marked significant achievements, reinforcing the bonds that had been formed. These celebrations were moments of joy and reflection, honoring the journey they had undertaken together. Ethan and Lyra often spoke at these events, sharing their experiences and expressing gratitude for the support they had received. Their words inspired others, reinforcing the shared commitment to their vision of a united future. The path forward. A shared vision. Ethan and Lyra stood on the balcony of the newly rebuilt council hall, looking out over the bustling city below. The integration of their societies had brought about profound changes, transforming the landscape and the lives of their people. "We have come so far," Lyra said, her voice filled with pride and hope. "But our journey is not over. There is still much to do." Ethan nodded, his gaze steady. "We will continue to work together to build a future where Trill and humans can thrive side by side. Our vision is strong and our determination unshakable." Expanding horizons, with the foundation of their alliance firmly established, Ethan and Lyra turned their attention to expanding their reach. They sought to engage with other species and civilizations, sharing their experiences and promoting the benefits of unity and cooperation. Their efforts were met with interest and curiosity, as other societies looked to their example for inspiration. Diplomatic missions and cultural exchanges extended beyond their immediate region, fostering new relationships and opportunities for collaboration. Sustaining progress. Ensuring the sustainability of their progress was a key priority. Ethan and Lyra worked to create systems and structures that would support their vision for generations to come. They focused on developing leadership within both Trill and human communities, empowering individuals to carry forward their work. Education, economic development, and cultural engagement remained central to their efforts. They continued to innovate and adapt, addressing new challenges and seizing new opportunities as they arose. Reflecting on the journey. As they looked back on their journey, Ethan and Lyra felt a deep sense of fulfillment. They had faced immense challenges and overcome significant obstacles, guided by their shared vision and unwavering commitment. Their journey had forged bonds that transcended differences, creating a legacy of unity and cooperation. Their story was one of resilience, determination, and hope. It was a testament to the power of human ingenuity and the strength of the human spirit. As they stood together, they knew that their journey was not just about them, but about the countless lives they had touched and the future they had helped shape. Looking ahead, Ethan and Lyra faced the future with confidence and optimism. They knew that there would be challenges ahead, but they were ready to meet them head-on. Their journey had taught them that anything was possible when people came together with a shared purpose and a commitment to making a difference. As they looked out over the city, they saw a world transformed by their efforts. A world where Trill and humans lived and worked together in harmony, united by a common vision and a shared destiny. It was a world they had helped create, and a world they were determined to continue building. Together, we can achieve anything, Ethan said, his voice filled with conviction. Lyra nodded, her eyes shining with determination. Yes, Ethan. Together, we will create a future that is bright and full of promise. And so, their journey continued, fueled by their unwavering commitment to unity, cooperation, and the enduring power of the human spirit.